Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace, and today is Monday, April 15th. This is a podcast about knitting and books and baking and cats, but most importantly knitting, because that is what I love to do the absolute most, and my day feels weird without it. If that tells you how much I do it and how much I love it. If you'd like to follow me on any of my social medias, I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so if you'd like to go follow me over on there or any of the other places, all the information will be down below if you're on YouTube, or all the stuff will be on my blog, which will be linked to down below if you're on YouTube. Yay. In addition to that, all the things that I will be talking about will hopefully be linked. If not, I do apologize if you are interested. If I do forget to include something, please let me know and I will fix that or send you a link or something. And yeah, so don't worry about that. I also work at a yarn store. It's called The Modern Skein in Montgomery, Texas, and I will include all the social media, the website, all that jazz. You can go and check out our online store, or you can come and hang out with us in person. We would love to see you. We have sit and stitch times with wonderful groups of ladies who are truly amazing, and I love hanging out with them all the time. It's the best. So if you are local or if you're traveling, please come by. We would love to see you, would love to meet you, and you can come and knit with us, or just browse and knit, or all of the above, or whatever. Anyway, my throat is very cloggy today. I don't know why. Knitting wise, I do have a lot of knitting to show you, which is very exciting. And just some general discussions about current projects and future projects, and feeling the need to start all the things but also not at the same time. It's a very weird place to be in. I don't really know how I feel about it. So that is how this episode is going to go. I do have a book recommendation, which is great. And I haven't done the baking yet, but the baking will be happening after this podcast is done being recorded, and we'll potentially edit while I'm baking, because yay multitasking. Anyway, this is a long intro. We'll stop it there. If you'd like to go grab something tasty to drink, or a snack upon, or an animal to snuggle, or a craft to work on, or laundry to fold, because I will also be doing that later, you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. That's a good cup of tea! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! So, everyone, I have test knits coming out the wazoo. I'm not complaining, but I do have a lot of test knits, and in fact, I have another one happening sometime soon. I know I said I wouldn't do anymore and I'd take a break, but this is like, I will be having a break before the next one starts, and the due date is like way, 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 way far away. But we're getting ahead of ourselves, so let's not talk about that right now. First off, this is the one due most soon, because that's grammatically correct. Maybe it is grammatically correct, I don't know. It's due in a couple weeks. 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks. End of April. This is a test knit for Caitlin, or Wool Jewel as she is called on Instagram and Ravelry. She also has the Wool Jewel podcast. She is very sweet and very wonderful to work with. I'm definitely enjoying this. Her pullover, it's a lace cropped pullover, which I'm about to show you. It's called LeClair, which is after a Baroque violinist compositioner person. I don't remember if I was wrong about that. Either way, he was a violinist. He's French. And it's lacy. And here's my progress so far. I have a little bit of a sleeve, and I have a full sleeve that is very shriveled, and I have a Snapchat, but this will be fixed with blocking. Don't worry, everyone. This would be concerning, but it'll be fixed. So this is what I have so far. I've tried it on. It looks amazing. I'm very excited. I am using some very, 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 very deep stash here, which is really awesome. And so this is the ball I'm currently working with. I have this one I haven't broken into, and then these little bits. So this is all I have left, and I started off with 6 of these. I'm so excited. It's awesome when you can use your stash, everyone. It's really just like the best thing ever. And there's a little progress keeper I want to keep out because I didn't know it was in the bottom of that bag. Anyway, oh look, there's like 5 pins. Pens, excuse me. I have pins on the front, but there were more pins in the bottom of the bag. And there's cough drops. Hello. I need to clean this thing out more regularly. Clearly, this is not the time to do that. So yes. Yes. I'm trying to think of what else to say about this. The lace, I would say, so I don't think this is a beginning sweater, which there's nothing wrong with that. I think it may be for an advanced, very advanced beginner, someone who can very easily read lace from charts. It is a completely charted pattern. There are no written instructions. So if you feel like you want to tackle charts, cool. I will say this lace, for whatever reason, was more challenging for my brain to wrap around. I don't know why. It might have also been because I was working on it mostly at work, and I was very distracted by all the comings and goings of the store and the conversations going on around me, which has nothing to do with the people at the store or the pattern. It is completely on me for doing that. And I know this because when I worked on it at work, it was more frustrating than it was working on it at home when I was sitting kind of peace and quiet watching Netflix with my husband, and I was able to power through it more quickly because there were fewer distractions and I could tune out the TV if I needed to. Anyway, so if you love lace and if you love charts, this is the pattern for you. If you don't like either of those, or one or both of them or whatever, I would suggest maybe looking for another pattern. But again, if you love lace and if you like charts, or if you want to be adventurous and just try them both, if you have tried neither. If you haven't tried those two things, then I would recommend this pattern. I think it's super cute. It hits me very well in the cropped general style that we're all trying to go for apparently now, because this is the new thing to do and I'm loving it. Oh yeah. I'm very excited that this is making the progress that it's been made. Again, I'm super grammatically correct today. That's just really wonderful. I strive to give you guys the best podcast possible by making sure my sentences are structurally sound. That would be a no. Anyway, sarcasm. Anyway, sarcasm aside, I really need to turn this off. Okay. Shh. I do apologize. What was I saying? I was gonna say something. Oh, I remember what it was. So, see, this is you go with me through the train of thought process. So, fun times for everyone. Makes the editing for me a lot easier, so. Fun fact. So the sweater that I test knit in February, no, in March, the Folksy sweater by Melody, or Bemandarines. I don't remember. Or I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. I do apologize. It's the one with the chevrons and the baubles. I did it with like a dark navy teal with a coral. It was cold yesterday for some reason in Houston, which was very odd, and I got to wear it to church, and I'm super excited. Sam took some very wonderful pictures for me. They have in front of the great brick wall. I'm very happy with them. So I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to be posting those, just because I don't know when the pattern is exactly coming out. Fun fact, the due date was actually today. And that's long been finished, so that's good. Picking up my tea because I sense a tea break coming up. So that was really good. I was really excited to get to wear it. It was so much fun to wear. I think it's super cute. Goes with everything, anything and everything. Cropped. Awesome. Love it. Yes, so that's very exciting. I feel, for some reason, I've been feeling more like inspired and very empowered to wear my knit sweaters. I feel like I've just had a better idea of how to style them while it was cold, not now, because now it's getting to be more hot again. So I like being inspired to wear more of my knitwear and stuff like that. I think that's really great. And it's just really fun to be able to wear the things that I've made because it just feels so amazing and I love it so much. So, yes, I wore that sweater. I'm almost done with the LeClair for Wool Jewel tea break. And that due date is coming up, but I'm not worried at all. It's because it's at the end of April. So, that's test knit number 1. Test knit number 2, everyone, is in the bottom of this bag. So, fun fact, in the morning, we'll have a little story time, shall we? On Monday morning, usually when I am prepping my day, getting ready to go work out, starting the laundry, cleaning up, getting my planner ready for the week, etc., etc., I also write down a list of things to discuss on the podcast if I feel like there's a lot and I'm feeling a little scattered and want to make sure I talk about everything. And so then, if I have time before going and working out or later between the time I come home and recording, I'll throw everything in a big bag or whatever. This happens to be my knitter's backpack that I also use as a purse because why not? I am a knitter and I do love backpacks. I throw everything in a big bag or a easily accessible bag so I can transport everything very easily into here, the office / yarn room, where I record, because it's just it's a lot to carry all the projects individually in your arms when you could just bring it in a bag, but then that also means that you kind of have to plan the order that you talk about things in. You don't have to, but if you put things in a bag, then it is an issue. Okay, everyone. So, this is my second test knit. That yarn almost went in my tea. I feel like I have that problem every single week, but we won't dwell on that. Okay. I'm kind of concerned I might run out of yarn, but we're not going to worry about it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So this is my second test knit. This is for Amba O'Brien. This is going to be the Ochre cardigan. It is a knit out of 100% linen, the BC Garn Lino. A beautiful strand right there. It is in like a, I think it's called, the color was technically called petrol. I wouldn't think of petrol when I saw this color, but I am not up on cool naming tactics like that. So, that is that. I have divided for the sleeves, and you can see through it. And I have made great progress. As you can see, good progress. I have no idea where I was last week, but hopefully you are seeing amazing progress. That would be awesome. This is kind of my grabbing to mindlessly work on something while I'm doing other things, so this is a really good project to take with me if we're gonna go hang out with friends or if we're gonna be driving somewhere that I can't, like I need to put something down really quickly. This is a good reading project. This is, we went and celebrated my mom's birthday last night. We had dinner with them because her birthday was on Friday, which is absolutely wonderful. Happy birthday, Mama. And we went and had dinner with them, and we then went back to my parents' house and had cake and played games. And while all that was going on, I was knitting on my sweater. So this is really great. It's a good portable project. The linen is definitely getting easier to work with. It's becoming softer. You can tell, like, the place where I cast on is significantly softer than the rest of it, which is would make sense just because I started there. I don't remember where I am inch-wise and how much I have left before I start the lace on the bottom of the hem, and there will also be lace on the cuffs in this general area, I think. So, yes. Very excited. This one's not due till sometime in May. I'm not worried. It'll be fine because I plan on doing more reading, more and more and more and more reading, because I just love it so much. So yes. This is a very fun project. I would highly recommend, if you've never worked with linen, I would say give it a try. You definitely have to get used to it. There's definitely nothing you can't get around that. Like, it's definitely a, wow, this feels weird. But once you get used to it, once your hands are like, oh, okay, this is what this feels like, I'm fine with this now, and you are okay with taking breaks every once in a while, it's great. Such a perfect summer cardigan. No, I didn't buy this one from Target. I made it myself. No, I didn't buy it from Madewell. I made it myself. It's a cool thing to get to say. I think this will, I think just in general, even if you didn't knit this sweater in linen, it would be a super cute summer cardigan just because of how flowy it is and the shape of it, and especially the lace on the bottom. I think it would be a really good summer staple cardigan. So this pattern, like I said, is not, our due date is not until May, the middle of May, so it won't be out for a while, but I'll keep you guys updated on when that is coming out, because this is absolutely wonderful. I would highly recommend anybody to make this sweater. It is truly, truly awesome. So, where to move on to next? Move that bag over there because we've already talked about it. Okay. So we have two, I'm going to bring out two old, I haven't done this and I need to do I haven't done this yet, but I need to do this. So we're going to do this on the podcast. So I am committing to finishing these small projects. This is actually holding two projects, so this is very nice. I can finish two very old Languishing whips. One of them was college era. The other one I actually cast on for our honeymoon. Neither of them are finished, but we won't talk about that. Well, we will talk about it because that's what this is about. Okay. I'm so close to finishing both of them, I think. Also, I could just, like, finish this now. and just finish it. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm looking down. I apologize. So, if you are new to the podcast, you might not be aware that I have a goal for 2019 to finish at least one Languishing WIP per month. It becomes a Languishing WIP once it is older than 6 months. I happen to have a lot of those types of projects. Unfortunately, fortunately, I don't know. You can decide what you will, but let's not judge. So I'm trying to work through my WIPs. Ultimately, that is what I'm trying to do, and while casting on things as I go, I did come up with the idea, with much discussion of people who are encouraging me to cast on things as we go, to reward myself. So if I finish, I think I decided if I finish more than two or more Languishing WIPs a month, I then can cast on something, whether it be new, whether it be yarn that I already have, because I have a shelf on this bookshelf behind you that is all yarn that already has a purpose for the most part. I think I see 3 skeins that don't have a purpose, but whatever. So yes, that is very exciting. But this month of April, just because I'm having 2 test knits and there's just been a lot going on, and for some reason I haven't been like, Languishing WIPs, I will finish you. So now I'm purposefully being like, hi, these are the 2 ones that I'd like to work on because they're smaller. There's another Languishing WIP that I'd like to finish as well in the month of April that is significantly bigger because it is a sweater knit on size 3s, US 3s. It is so close to being done. It is so close. Like, I really just need to sit down and finish it. But again, test knits are important. So, on the other hand, you know, it's always good to have smaller projects going on because then you can work on something smaller if you so choose. Also, fun fact, I have not taken this thing out of this project bag. I don't know why I never took it out, but so also story time. We're having a lot of story times today. Fun fact, if you did not know, if you are very new to the podcast or just you have been watching for a while but don't know because I don't talk about this all the time, my husband and I met in college. We kind of already knew of each other, but we actually officially met in college. We dated a little bit sophomore year, broke up, dated other people, then we got back together end of junior year, and here we are today. So this is in reference to the first time that we dated, sophomore year. I went to a football game with him Saturday, November 7th, 2015, which was Texas A&M versus Auburn at Kyle Field, before Kyle Field became all fancy. And I must have had, I have no idea what I was working on, but I had this bag with me because I was, of course, this was before they had the whole clear bag situation. They just looked in your bag and you were good to go. But I still have this ticket. And I don't know if it'll stay in this bag. We're going to keep it in there for right now, but I always forget that it's in there, and every time I see it I always have a smile because I remember that football game very vividly because it was a fun date and I had a good time, and I also knit. So, anyway, and the story time. So one of the projects that is in here is all tangled up because I don't know how sock blanks work. It's a sock blank. I started unraveling from the wrong end when I first got this, and I made a massive mess of it. It's just so bad. Really just need to like cut this off because it's really not that bad. There we go. It's just a little bit. Okay. So I had saved, I was in a sock blank club by Stranded Dye Works, who is also Amy of the Stranded Podcast. She is truly amazing. If you haven't heard of her yarn or her podcast, please go check it out. She's so wonderful. She did a sock blank club, which I did, and this is one of them, and I see the other two on that shelf that don't have a purpose currently, which needs to change because they're super fun. I don't remember what this one was called, but I saved this to become a sock head cowl that I cast on the plane for our honeymoon, which was in 2017. Fun fact, we went to Florida. We went to Marco Island, which is a place that I grew up going to because my grandparents had a... Ah! Did it get in my tea? It didn't get in my tea. Marco Island, my grandparents had a place. We would go there during the summer, spring break or whatever, and just... I have fond memories there, and so it was really awesome to get to go there with Sam as our honeymoon, and this is what I worked on. And I think it's time for me to do the ribbing, don't you think? Because then I can finish it and call it my whip. My Languishing whip. Yes. Easy peasy. Sockhead cowl. You can adjust the length so accordingly, so you don't have to have like this massively long one unless that's what you want, in which case more power to you. Yes, very super easy. It is a free pattern. I believe it's knit with size 3s. I don't think I'm using size 3s because I very rarely follow the needle size because I like to knit with bigger needles. This is a do as I say, not as I do situation. I don't always do that. I've gotten better. I've gotten much better. Don't judge me, it's okay. So yes, if it's really great if you have one skein of yarn that you really don't know what to do with. You would like to wear it around your neck, but you don't want to make a big shawl because they can fall off sometimes, or if you just don't want to make a shawl. A cowl is a great option. Super easy. It's a great mindless knit. So also if you have one skein of yarn and you're getting ready to go on a trip, it's perfect for that. Also, if you go to if you're traveling and you find one skein of yarn that you have no idea what to do with and don't want to make a shawl or hat or anything like that, good cowl option here. Just because it shows off the yarn and it's a good staple piece. So this is number 1 that was living in this bag. Number 2 is college era. Don't remember what this yarn is, but it's beautiful. In my hand wound ball, which yes, I do wind these balls like this. I know it's more time consuming, but I think they're beautiful and I find it very soothing. Some ladies at the yarn store think it's funny that I do it this way just because it does take more time. I am totally aware of that, but I do it anyway because I think they're beautiful. So don't judge. I will wind my yarn the way I like to wind my yarn. This is becoming the honey cowl, which is absolutely beautiful, but is incredibly time consuming. We became British right there because I don't know why. So this is what I have so far, which, like, is this not stunning? Like, what? It just creates such a beautiful fabric with the linen stitch. I think it's the honey cowl, I could be wrong, but it's some kind of like linen stitchy cowl. It's knit on very big needles, so this is clearly fingering weight single ply. I'm knitting this on size 10s, 9s, excuse me. I thought I knew what I was talking about. I'm also using a very old Harry Potter stitch marker. But you can tell how old it is because the white part around him has become very yellow. I don't remember where these came from, but I do in fact love them. think I have a Hermione somewhere. I think the Draco got lost. I have Hermione, and I think I have Ron too. I don't remember. I have no idea where they are. But anyway, so that's that. This should be more easy. And this would be a time where you might be telling me right now, if you don't have something that I have said in the past, and I know a lot of people say, if you have an issue with your project, have you checked your needles, because they might be the problem. And I would tell you that I actually already changed these needles to be something that I would enjoy more. Oh, you know what? But I think I actually have a better option that I didn't even think about when I changed it over. I'll be changing these. I still really like these needles, also just because they're really pretty. I know they're not the best, but I like the way that they look. So, fun fact. Plus, they're good hat needles, because you always need good 16-inch size 9s. It's in my tea! So bad about this. I need to move my tea, but I don't know where to move it to. Need to be really careful. Anyway, so I'm really excited about this. I think it'll be beautiful whenever it gets finished. I'm planning just to go until I run out of yarn and just have enough to cast off. That is my plan, basically. So I don't actually know if this will get done this month because this is a lot of yarn left. I do know that this will get done. This will get done, I think. Again, no for sure promises because I feel like that just makes me not do it more. I will try my best to get that done. I also try my best to get Lady Mademoiselle Dandelion done. I will also try my best to get that cowl done. I don't know if I will, but I hope so. Think positively. We have positive thoughts. It'll be fine. If it's not, that's okay. You know what? It's been a crazy... I don't know why... I love test knitting, like I really do, but I also don't know why I keep putting my name in for these things when I'm like, I need a break. Oh wait, no, there's another test knit that I need to do, which I have forgotten to tell you about. And so I'm going to tell you about it now before we move on, because the next thing we have to talk about is a very big knitting, I don't know what I'm doing thing. So, but I think we need a tea break first, shall we? Let's have a little regroup. Oh, tea. Tea, you are so good. You make everything better. I love tea. Okay. So, my test knit. Not the ones I'm currently doing, but the one I will be doing soon. I believe it officially starts at the end-ish of May, so I have some time off, kind of, and then the deadline, I believe, for us is July 20th, so that's a really long time. This is my thought process why I wanted to do this. Also because I'm super excited about this, and I was like, I saw the testing call and I was like, oh my goodness! I have to put my name in. So, if you are unfamiliar with the podcast called the Two Girls in the Yarn Cafe podcast, you should totally go and watch them because they're wonderful. It's a mother and daughter. They both have yarn companies, and Tristan, the daughter, is also a budding designer and has many... not many, but she's got several patterns that have come out recently that are absolutely gorgeous, stunning, they are awesome, and she's designed another one that is called the Moon Drip Swancho, and I get to test it, be one of the testers, and I'm very excited, and we don't have the information yet. That's going to come out on Wednesday, which will actually be when you watch this, so today... the information in regards to yardage and stuff. I would like this to be kind of a stash buster as well, and I'm looking at my yarn over there and I'm seeing possibilities. Oh yes. Yes, yes. Very excited. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm also just, I love testing. It's so much fun. I also like having the break in between, but I also really love testing, and I love that the fact that there's this deadline is so big. So there's this, it's not like it's got to be done in a month type thing. There's nothing wrong with that, and I totally understand why people need it to be done in a month, and I can do that, but I'm glad to have the flexibility if I wanted to work on something else and not solely on this one thing, that I could do that. It's just, it's nice to have all the different kinds of testing situations, experiences. So I get full experience of testing, and it's wonderful. Anyway, I'm very excited about this, and it hasn't started yet. Haven't cast on, don't even know what yarn I'm using, but I have ideas. I'm looking at my yarn options. I also have yarn somewhere. This is all heavier weight though, so that probably won't work, but I have others scattered other places. There's yarn literally everywhere. It's not literally everywhere. It's mainly in here and then in the living room. It's not that bad. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Anyway. So that's super exciting. That is coming up, and once we get the information and I pick up my colors, I'll definitely be sharing that with you guys as I go through that, because this is not a secret, and I love that. I get to share it all with you guys. This is truly wonderful. Thank you, Tristan, for letting me test knit your pattern. I'm so excited. Yay! Tea break. So, everyone, this thing is laying on the floor, so we're just I'm gonna lean back and we're gonna have a conversation. Last week, 2 weeks ago, I went stash diving with you in this particular cubby back here, and it still hasn't been refilled, for the Sultana, which is the new colorwork cropped sweater from Caitlin Hunter. It's so cute. I wanted to make one so badly. I picked out lots of colors. We figured out which ones I was going to do. I cast on last Friday? Yes, this past Friday. I cast on Friday and worked on that all day, which was really wonderful. It was very refreshing, and I love the pattern so much. And one of the colors that I had picked didn't go, and so I ripped it back and changed it up, and so now I have different colors, kind of. I just put in the Edison bulb in the place of the dark bluey green color, because the blue and the green and the purple were too close and you couldn't really tell them apart in the color work. So now I'm going along, and I don't know how I feel about these two colors together. They're not sparking joy. They're not terrible, but I really don't know if I like love it. And I want it to be like, pow, I love it. Anyway, this is what I have so far. It shows up much better on camera than it does in person. So this, okay, I love this section up to like the stripies, and then when it gets with the red and the yellow, I'm like, I don't know if I like that. So, I don't know if it's a matter of taking out the red. I don't know if it's a matter of taking out the yellow. Either way, I think I'll be frogging some of it again. Which is fine, because again, I said it's a super, like I said, it's a very enjoyable knit. I'm loving it. It goes super quickly. It is amazing. And yeah. what do you think? Dear viewer, please let me know. Give me your opinion. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, so I just don't like this section, and I don't know, like, I'm afraid if I change out the colors that, like, the yardage won't match, because I'm really, really close to the yardage because I'm using a skein each. So I don't know. Please let me know. What do you think? And even if you've seen this in person, if you come to the yarn store, please let me know. I am very conflicted right now because I really like this up here with this gray, this tonal taupey, and the bright red. Possibly more than I like the yellow. So it's just a matter of figuring out what goes instead of the yellow. Let's go stash typing again, shall we? Because I have this pink. That could work. It's very hard to cover up the yellow. Whoa, whoa. There we go. That kind of works. That could be an option. I like that. I don't know. It's just, like, I'm super excited about it and I want to get it right. I just don't really know. Like I said, it's just not sparking joy. And I want it to spark joy. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If I'm conflicted that I'm not going to keep on knitting on it because I don't want to get, like, continue knitting on with colors that I'm not a super big fan of, so anyway, that's what I'm thinking about with that. I don't really know what to do. Please let me know what you think, because I'm confused and I don't know what to do. So yes, that's just where my thought is, my mind is on the Sultana. Anyway, so moving things along, because I see this is probably going to be a long episode. So very quickly, I do have a book recommendation, and then we're going to go back to knitting. Book recommendation, I just finished Into the Water by Paula Hawkins, who wrote The Girl on the Train. So if you are into true crime, which is not true crime, but it's like true crime, like thrillers, mysteries, murder mysteries, etc., that kind of stuff, if you like that stuff, then this would be awesome. If you liked The Girl on the Train, if you like stuff like Gone Girl or stuff like that. I'm really good at examples today. This was a very enjoyable book. It went very quickly. I listened to the audiobook. It was nice because it was told, the whole story was told from, like, all the characters' perspective, which did get confusing after a while, and at the beginning I was like, whoa, who is who, and who is related to who, and who's connected to who is who? I was confused. But I think that if you had the actual book copy, it might be easier to keep track of who is who. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention, because sometimes I don't pay attention. So that could be on me. And I have this big strand of hair that's like, there we go, back in its clip. I will say that there is quite a bit of language, and it's because it is a murder mystery, there are some, like, adult graphic-y stuff, but if you enjoy those books, it's just nothing that's not normally in those kind of books. It was very good. I enjoyed it. It was very, by the time, it's a very, like, excuse me, it's not boring. Just a little sleepy, but which is why we're having tea. It's one of those ones where the ending is very, like, slow to unroll itself, so you're not quite at the end, but you kind of know who's done it at that point, so now you start like piecing it together, which I think is really cool. Sometimes I enjoy it more if it like waits till the very end and it's like, pow, this is who did it, and you're like, what the poop, I had no idea. But this one was a very slow unraveling one at the end, which I like that, I guess, if I'm listening to it. It was very good. Would highly recommend if you're looking for like a mystery summary read. I believe it came out in 2017. That was when it was super popular, and I'm just now reading it because I'm behind the times on the books, which that's okay. I don't mind being behind the times in the books. But there's just not enough time to read all the books that we want to read, so that's okay. That's okay. Also, very quickly, going back to knitting for a very short amount of time, for some reason, I have no idea why, I go in phases in regards to this, but there are times when I can't stop thinking about doing things like a granny square blanket or doing like little hexie puffs or something like that. Like, I just can't get it out of my mind, and I want to do it so badly, but I know that once I start, I probably won't finish, and it'll just sit there and not get done. But I'm in one of those times right now where I'm like, I really, really just want to do one, and I just really, really want to do it, and it'll be such a good stash buster, and it'll be great, and I don't have to do it that big. It doesn't have to be super big, and could just be a throw, it'll be fine. And then I know in the back of my mind I should be like, whoa, slow down, slow your roll. You're not gonna finish it. I think I would really like to do one soon, at some point. What I really need to do is dig out the other blankets that I have going and finish those. Languishing whips. That would be a thing. That would be a thing. I am thinking, so in regards to the granny square, it wouldn't be the stripes and it wouldn't be like one giant one. I'd probably do the squares, and the squares would be pretty big. So, and I think I would also hold 2 strands of fingering together or a DK weight, and also use a relatively large needle. Hook, excuse me. Because I did have it as a goal to do at least one crochet project, which I had thought to do something else, but who knows. We can have 2 crocheted projects this year. That's okay. It'll be fine. So that's what I'm thinking of. I really don't know if that'll actually happen. I just saw one today, or like last week, some point recently. I saw another one today, but I've been seeing them on Instagram. Instagram, and I just got really inspired, and I was like, man, I could really do one of those. I think it'd be super fun. It'd be a great stash buster. It'd be really awesome. But I don't think I have time for it right now, but I really want to. I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. We'll be thinking. I don't know. Maybe let you know next week. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, that is it for this week. I think I've discussed all the things, asked your opinions, told you about my book. Or not my book, I've told you about my test knits, my upcoming test knits, my granny square dilemma, all that jazz. I'm gonna go make some muffins. They're double chocolate muffins, which just can't go wrong, and I believe they also have espresso coffee powder, whatever, in the batter, so maybe have like a little bit of coffee, taste. So yes, that is what I'm gonna go do, in addition to fold the laundry and potentially sift the kitty litter. Because yay, adult life, taking care of the household and sifting the kitty litter and then doing all that kind of stuff, and it's really great. And then I can also edit the podcast while I do these things, and it's awesome. Anyway, So, with that being said, I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and I hope you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are very successful. I hope I have not, maybe I've inspired you to start a granny square blanket, and if you do, I think that's awesome. I don't know if I want to know that, because then I will be even more inspired to start mine. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully next week I should have a finished test knit, maybe a finished Sultana if I figure out my color situation. Hopefully at least one finished whip. That would be really, really awesome. Get those Languishing whips taken care of, because they're the number's going down, but it's still quite up there just because I keep casting things on. But that's okay. It's fine. It'll be fine. If you'd like to follow me on any of my social medias, I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so please go follow me over on there, or all the other ones if you would like, in addition to that. Like I said, all the stuff that I've talked about will hopefully be linked in the show notes. If I have failed to include everything, please let me know, because I oftentimes forget. So yes, all that will be linked in the show notes or on my blog. Everything will be down below. In addition to that, the information to the store that I work at, called the Modern Skein in Montgomery, Texas, everything will be linked everywhere, so you can very easily find all the information that you could ever want. It's wonderful. The power of the internet. Yes. That is that. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. I really appreciate you spending some time with me, listening to me ramble and rant and ask your opinion and think about yarn crises and confusion over colors and all that kind of stuff. It is very therapeutic for me. It's also just fun to talk about. So there's also that. So thank you for spending some time with me. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. And with that, I will see you guys next week. Bye!